Everyone. So let's talk a little bit about background knowledge and learning about your students. Remember, this is the foundation for all of your exciting and challenging lesson plans. So you want to really know who your students are. Now, we help you with this with the IDP template. So if you look at the IDP template, here it is, you'll notice that there are some things that we want to know about students. First is that we don't need to know their names, we just need a number for them. So make sure you keep their names and what number they are in a notebook. We want to know their achievement and developmental data. This you'll get from your teacher probably, and it can be from standardized tests from the end of the grade last year. It could be from some of the assessments that they're doing at the beginning of this year. Really, we just want to know where they are with their reading, writing, and math. So you only need to think about, are they below grade level, at grade level, or above grade level for reading, math, and writing, okay? And that's the information that you'll put here. Strengths and interests we're going to talk about in a second. Those will be the inventories that you'll use. Noted exceptionalities. These might be some things that are labels for students like ELL or ADHD, but they might also be things that are not labels for students, like students who are very shy or students who are very sensitive. You may have a student who is obese, or a student who's very tall, or a student who can't hear or see well. So these are the noted exceptionalities that you'll need to consider as you create your lessons for your students. So think about how they're going to relate to the lessons that you'll be teaching. And then here you'll talk about the collaboration. And you'll probably collaborate with your cooperating teacher, but you might also collaborate with your university professor. You might go out on the web and do some research, and you'll put the URL here that you use for that. You might also tap the specialists at the school. Millers Creek has some fantastic specialists, and I highly recommend, if you have some challenging students, to talk with them about options that you might use to create lessons and materials that they might need that would really be appropriate for them. So this is the chart that you're going to fill out, and you'll fill out one line for each of your students. Okay? So let's look at those inventories. In the IDP resources folder, you'll see that there is a folder called Student Interest Inventories, and there are a ton of them. So you'll want to take some time to really look through these and see which ones are going to be appropriate for your students, your grade, and your philosophy. I highly recommend that if you are teaching K1 or 2, that you do this individually and you call them up to you at the back table and you just ask them some of these questions and run through the inventory yourself. If you have the upper grades and you want to have them do an interest inventory, then you can have them do them in small groups with you. If you want to call over 3 or 4 students and sort of guide them through it to help them with the reading and writing part of it all. I do not recommend that you do these interest inventories for a whole class. It just becomes really chaotic. So this is the part where you're going to need to do your own homework and really look through these. Again, some of these are really, really long, and you don't need, here's one that's for K2, and you don't need to ask all of these questions. That's why you're going to go through this and pull the things out that you think are important, that you want to know. What do they like to do in school? What's their favorite sport? What do they do outside of school? So you'll use these inventories to create your own shorter inventory that just asks some important questions that you'll need to know. You probably don't need to know all of these things about every one of your students. So that's what you'll be doing for this part of your IDP. You're going to learn all about your students, both inside school and outside school. Now, what's coming up? Okay, so next time we get together, you'll need to have your IDP subject area selected and try to have a topic as well. So you might be doing math, geometry, or you might be doing science, life cycles of a plant. Try to have that, because the next time we get together, we're going to be really focusing on how to do learning goals and objectives, that other chart in your IDP. And if you know what you're doing, it'll help you so much more because you can do it in class with us. Make sure that you read your proactive strategies and Chapter 2 about organizing your classroom, do theory to practice. And then also, I've emailed your teachers and told them to expect that you'll be coming to school and you'll be asking students these questions, and you'll be asking some of the teachers questions about the academics and special needs of their students. So they've already had a heads up on this, and you should feel comfortable asking them these things. Remember, all this information is absolutely confidential, and you should not be sharing it with anybody else. Okay? If you have any questions, just give me a call.